So today I'm going on a 13-hour coach tour here in Ireland to Cliffs of Moher, Burren and Galway. To all these places we are going with Finn McCools Tours. So it's a coach tour and I'm really excited for this because it's my first coach tour in Ireland. So let's go.
Belfast, that'll be up there. Anybody going to the Cliffs of Moher?
Yeah.
Right at the top there for Belfast, okay. Anybody here got front row reservations? Yeah? Welcome aboard. Nice to have us anywhere behind.
Left side, yeah.
Should we go to the back?
So, my name is Ollie. I will be your guide for today. And then to the left of us, our expert driver keeping us safe on the roads. His name is Jose. Say hello, Jose! Yes. So guys, today we're going to be taking you to the Cliffs, Burren and Galway. Just a few rules about the bus first, okay? So we do have a toilet aboard the bus.
It's quite a small toilet, but it's very clean. You have sort of this kind of space to stand.
This morning, but Mr. Hugh Lane himself wanted to be the one responsible, and his original plan was to build it's a city over a city, because underneath us right now is Viking Dublin. Dublin itself was founded as a Viking city, but actually modern day Dublin is built over the original Viking city of Dublin. So first up, look over here. This is the ugliest building in Ireland, okay? Dublin City Council building. But before they built this monstrosity over here, that's where they made the archaeological discovery. So underneath us are whole Viking neighborhoods. We're talking... Welcome guys to Barack Obama Plaza! I bet we're wondering why on God's green earth is there a Barack Obama gas station all the way in the middle. Don't spoil it, yeah? Don't spoil it, yeah? Why in God's green earth is there a Barack Obama themed gas station all the way out here in rural Ireland? Well guys, I'll save that story as well for when we're all back onto the bus on time. Former glory, adding period appropriate furniture and everything. So visitors actually have a real sense of what life would have been like in a medieval castle if they visit.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
And almost after 3 hours we are here. So we are here at the Cliffs of Moher. What a beautiful day, and it's so windy, strong winds. It's very hard to even stay in one place, but look at this, 370 million years old. What a beautiful place. And what do you mean it's 300 million years old? 300 million years ago I was not there. I was probably there, but probably some dragon or some shit, because I don't know, bro. Like, it's so hard to imagine 300 million years ago and you're standing there looking at something that formed 300 million years ago. Somehow the photos don't do it the justice, to be honest, because these cliffs are massive and the Atlantic is wild. The whole place feels like it's frozen in time, and meanwhile I'm just trying not to get blown away by the wind to the next week because it was strong. Over 30,000 seabirds live on these cliffs, and honestly I think they know something we don't, because they've been flying around these cliffs for generations, you know. They'd be watching the storms, the wind, the sunsets, the sunrises, and probably they got the craziest bedtime stories for the kids as well because damn, I can't even imagine. And if these cliffs look familiar, you might have seen them in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So that's where Harry Potter and Dumbledore went on a journey to find one of the Voldemort's Horcrux. So with the stunning views, fascinating wildlife, and a little bit of movie magic, it's easy to see why the Cliffs of Moher are one of the Ireland's most visited attractions. So one thing I definitely want to try next time is the boat tour. So there's said to be a boat tour, and seeing the cliffs from the water gives you like a completely different perspective. And honestly, looking up to those giant cliffs from sea level sounds pretty amazing. So that's going into my bucket list because we have to book those in advance, I think. But that's for next time, and I would definitely go on that. So at this point our 2 hour limit was coming to an end. We had around 20 minutes to spare, so we head down to the visitor center because that's where there's a small museum, there's restaurants, cafes, souvenir shops. So we went around looking for some things and then we got back on the road. Ah, vi var den vägen. Hi,
How are you doing?
all good. How are you?
Do you need a bag or you all right?
No, we're fine.
Would you like you receive email to your
No, thank you.
Perfect, thanks so much. Thank you. So as we walked around the visitor center, we got so much information about the history of the cliffs and how they were formed a million years ago, and about all the wildlife that lives around the area. And one of the coolest parts was the immersive screen experience. It's like a setup almost like a mini theater where you sit and watch some cinematic footage of the cliffs. And these are some of the shops that you will find outside, and they got clothing, jewelry, souvenir, and even a music shop. And what I love is how creative they got with this. Like the whole thing is built into the hill. Instead of this huge building ruining the landscape, this almost disappears into the grass. From certain angles, you barely even notice it's there. I think it's honestly making the place feel more natural and connected to the cliffs. And even the names of these shops, one was called Gifts of Moher. I think it's such a simple but a clever play on the name.
Down country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all growing green in the north country. Oh, early next morning, our sailor boy arose, and
And this was another part of our tour. Just 15 minutes away from Cliffs of Moher was the Burren. So during this tour, it was supposed to be a 10-minute photo stop, but this place is one of the most unique landscapes in Ireland. It's known for its grey limestone rocks, that's formed over 300 million years ago when this area was covered by a tropical sea. So that's what makes Burren so special. You're basically walking on an ancient seabed shaped by glaciers and time. Even though it looks rocky and empty, it's full of life. Rare wildflowers grow between the stones, and even further, if you walk further, you will find a tomb that's over 5,000 years old. So it's a quiet place, but once you know its history, it feels like you're in like a complete different world.
Mind. Nobody's gonna. 500 years to the insular Celtic languages spoken before Christianity's arrival in Ireland. This ancient tongue has survived. This ancient tongue has survived Viking raids, English colonization, mass immigration.
And now we are on the way from the Burren towards Galway, and we are driving along the wild Atlantic Way, one of the longest defined coastal routes in the world. So it follows Ireland's west coast, and this stretch is one of the most beautiful I've ever seen, and made me think, you know what, I will drive up here one day just to drive through this road. You pass small villages, stone walls, and loads of animals, open fields, and it's so beautiful.
Called Ellis Island off the coast of the United States. And you would have noticed these here.
So guys, we just got down from Galway. What a beautiful city. So this is the last stop of our tour. So let's walk around. We got around 2 hours to explore around the Galway city. So really excited. It's my first time here, so let's go. So we got around 2 hours to explore the Galway city, and I think it was fairly enough to actually walk around the city center, grab some food. But I wish if there was more time. But obviously this is a tour, so you have to stick with the time limits. But Galway felt like one of those cities where something's always happening, you know? The streets are full of color, there's live music pretty much everywhere, and somehow every corner has a pub, a cafe, or someone's just playing traditional Irish music outside. It's a small city, but it has so much character to it. And we got a recommendation from our tour guide about a food spot, and this happened to be the best spot to grab some chips. But this is not just normal chips, it happened to be the best of the best. So let's find this shop and give this a try. hands down one of the best chips I've ever had, and I know why they say this is the best place for the chips. The chips were hot, crispy, properly seasoned. You can see it's not just a little sprinkle on the top, but like fully coated in that garlic parm. And the garlic hits you first, and then the cheesy parmesan comes in. This was top. What a beautiful city this is. Loads of live music, pubs, restaurants, and I think
No, I can't go back in there.
live music starts more towards the late afternoon. We already saw a few, but it's very happening. Everyone's out drinking their pint of Guinness, and everyone's just enjoying the sunny day. So just like that, we have come to an end of Galway. The 2 hours is gone, so we're heading down to our coach, and then we'll be on our way home. So we are finally home after like 13 hours. It's almost 8 p.m. but the sun is shining because it's the summer in Ireland. Thank God. But the tour, I wanted to reflect on the tour before I settled down after coming home. The tour was one of the best I've been, and I've not been in many of the coach tours because I always drive myself, but this tour made me think, you know what, I will ditch my car, I will ditch the driving, and maybe I will always go on coach tours because it was more comfortable and I got a lot of information about a lot of things. So shout out to Finn McCools Tours. So that's who we went the tour with, and our tour guide Ollie, and the driver Jose, and especially the tour guide. He gave so much information about the landmarks while we were passing them, and so much recommendation about shops, restaurant, pubs we should try, and a lot of Irish history. So it was a full package. And Jose, a great driver. Driving on those small, narrow, winding roads in a big bus, it's not easy, and everyone was on time. So I'm lucky to go with such a group where everyone's on time. When you say come back at this time, everyone's there on the time. So we got extra time to spend as well. So we got 2 hours in Cliffs of Moher and 2 hours in Galway. It was supposed to be 1 hour and 30 minutes, but since we were on time, we got 2 hours there. So wind was one of the craziest I've seen today because it was so strong to the point sometimes you can't even walk forward. It's pushing you back. But I'm not complaining because it could have been worse. Some people don't even see the cliffs because of the fog, mist, rain. Bad weather is always it's changing. The west coast, it's always changing because the wind are very strong. So guess I'm very lucky today, and I'm finally happy to see the Cliffs of Moher, and I would definitely go again on a sunny day. It was such an amazing experience. But anyways, I will see you guys from another brand new video, so stay tuned, stay safe.